Hello, Derek Armson here, and welcome to the Monday Musings, the first one. Exciting, isn't it? So, hello again, and what is the Monday Musings? Well, basically, every Monday I'm going to be doing a look at what I've been up to in my online business the previous week. I'll tell you what I've been doing, I'll tell you some of the successes, some of the failures. Because obviously we can all learn lots from our failures. Give you some insights into what I've been doing, how I've been doing it. Also some tips, and probably inevitably I'm going to stray into areas outside of online marketing. But basically it's going to be a weekly insight into what I've been up to, my experiences, and how it's all worked out for me. So what have I been up to in the last week? Incidentally, I'm going to make the weekly musings, the Monday musings, sorry, a weekly thing, which will build up over time into a library, a reference library that you can refer to and come back to time and time again to hopefully learn some tips and insights about online marketing. So what have I been up to? Well, Saturday was a real epiphany for me. I was up in London, in Euston, and it was my first day working as a coach on Paul O'Mahony's Online Business Mastery Social Media Mastermind. And I guess in life in general, in business particularly, we all have these insecurities that make us believe we're not necessarily worth what we really are truly worth. And it was a real eye-opener for me to actually go in to that environment as a coach where I was actually helping other people. It was brilliant to realise that I do have lots of knowledge, that I have lots to give, that I have a story to tell. But what I thought was just absolutely outstanding was the fact that I was actually able to sit with 5 different people, and those 5 people could plug into my knowledge and I could really help them move their businesses forward. To see people with light bulbs going off in their head and saying, "Oh, that's brilliant! Thank you so much for helping me." I was able to help someone with recruitment. I did 25 years in recruitment. If you know my story, you know that I was earning lots and lots of money as a recruiter back in the day, working for those big bad trading systems development people down in the city of London, building the trading systems that got us into so much trouble. And plenty of stories to tell. I'm sure they'll come out over time. But there was a lady there who was doing something in recruitment, so I was able to give her the benefit of my 25 years experience in recruitment. I was able to help a London realtor, real estate agent, put in her first funnel together. So I was able to give her some quite in detailed training on how to use ClickFunnels. There was another guy who's working, an optician who's working on chatbots, called out to Santnam. And it was because one of the things I do in my local business is I do chatbots for people. So I was able to give him some insights into how I've been selling chatbots by not just going out and talking to people about them, but by actually talking to people initially, finding out what their business is, and then putting a test chatbot up for them on a test website, and then letting the people see the chatbot, feel it, play with it, use it, and then it becomes a very easy thing to sell. So I was able to help him with some strategies, some sales strategies for chatbots, which was excellent. I was also talking to another young lady who they have a fitness course that they're putting together to do with keto, and I was helping her put a squeeze page together, and it made me realise how much I actually knew about copy and how to entice people in. So it was a really, really gratifying experience and a very inspiring experience, and it made me realise that I do want to go on a mission to teach people how to get better at and how to maximise their efforts from online marketing. Consequently, I'm going to be putting a course together. I think I was going to call it iSwitch, but I've been talking to some of my colleagues in one of my mastermind groups. They didn't quite like that. They thought it sounded a bit like switching your electricity supplier, and I sort of have a bit of sympathy with that. So I'm thinking about branding at the moment. So obviously branding, one of the most important parts of putting it all together. But basically the course is going to cover getting people out of job prison, because let's face it, the JOB, the just above broke, really is it's a lie that's peddled by the establishment, that the job is the way forward, and it's not something I subscribe to. I've now not had a proper job since 2006, 2007. And I've worked all my business online. I've built a 5-figure per month SEO agency. I still keep a small part of that SEO agency going, but I do affiliate marketing, and I'm now going to move into product development as well. But it is something that's peddled by the establishment, and it's just something. It is relatively easy to break out of it and live life on your own terms. So that's what I'm going to dedicate myself to doing over the next 2 or 3 months, is building this course that's going to teach people to take their existing skills and abilities and move them online. And I'm going to be teaching that. And I look forward to getting that course together. I've actually written the first couple of modules already. So let me know. I mean, if that was you, what would you want to know? What would be the key thing that you think would help you get on that path to getting out of job prison and starting to live life in your own terms, by your own efforts, by having your own online business? What is it that you need to know? I mean, I have my own ideas, and I put some feelers out and some questionnaires out to some of my other mastermind groups. But it'd be interesting, So leave a comment below. If you're on YouTube, leave a comment below the video. If you're on my blog, leave a comment underneath the post. So what else have I been doing? Well, I've been experimenting with Bing ads. Bing's an interesting one. Obviously, we know Google is the biggest search engine out there, but Bing is very interesting. I was told that Bing is very much targeted to the sort of Silver Surfers brigade, more so in the States than in the UK and Europe. And the reason for that being that most people who buy PCs and laptops in the Silver Surfer brigade, it all comes with just Microsoft stuff already on it, so that's what they use. So it was interesting to play around with some Bing ads and targeting sort of seniors' health, survival stuff, that sort of thing in the States. Over the last couple of weeks, I've spent about $300 on ads testing a couple of markets, testing the keto market and testing another weight loss product. And I've made just over $300 in commission, so just above break even. So it's quite exciting. If you can get something to break even within 2 weeks, I think that has to be good, and it has some mileage in it. So I'll be some tweaking and testing and moving that forward over the next week. I'll come back with some further results on that for you next week. What else have I been doing? Well, today, Monday the 27th of January 2020, I'm actually starting Russell Brunson's One Funnel Away Challenge. Basically, it's 30 days of intense training. You have to do it within the 30 days because this is brilliant. I mean, it's once you get to the end of the 30 days, he takes all the training down. So you've got to do it as you go along. So it's like, this is your target. I think he does, your mission should you decide to accept it, like the Mission Impossible sort of thing. So I've just literally finished day one. It's just gone 11:15 here in the UK. I've just finished day one's lessons and actions. So that's great. I'll be reporting on my progress on the One Funnel Away Challenge. And the idea is that after the month, you have a funnel up working, all your products plugged into it, and it's out there and earning money for you. And you learn all the principles about building an online business, building your funnels, getting everything up and running, driving traffic. So it's going to be a really interesting challenge. I'm really looking forward to doing it. I'm very excited about doing that. And I've completed day one. It's only 11:15, completed day one. Hee, fantastic stuff. Generally, it was one other thing I was going to talk about. It was interesting. We're staring down the barrel of Brexit here in the UK, which happens on Friday, 11 p.m. Friday night, this coming Friday. And I might talk a little bit more about that at the weekend. And there's been all these doom mongers and naysayers. Oh, Brexit's going to be terrible. It's going to be the death of the UK. And, we're going to be... economic growth is going to collapse and everything. And it's a bit like Y2K, year 2000. If you were around then, remember all the doom mongers and naysayers and, this is going to be the end of the world. And what happened? The clock ticked round to midnight on the 31st of December 1999, and it ticks over. Nothing changed. The fireworks went off. The clocks all stayed the same. The computer systems all worked. We woke up on the 1st of January and the world just carried on. And for my money, I think Brexit's going to be a bit like that, in the fact that it will just carry on. And I do have great faith in the general entrepreneurial spirit here in the UK, that I think, will fill in the gaps. It might take us a couple of years to catch up, but I think we'll fill in the gaps here in the UK. And I can see the UK being this provider of sort of laissez-faire services that perhaps people can't get hold of in the EU because of all the red tape and bureaucracy. And I can see the UK become this little beacon of laissez-faire capitalism just outside the UK, providing services that people can't necessarily get within the EU. And that's great. But what I noticed in travelling up to London on the train on Saturday was the amount of development that's going on. There are cranes everywhere, and I always think that the amount of cranes and building going on is a general indicator of economic activity and economic health. And to be honest, there is a huge amount just between Berkhamsted, where I live, which is about 26 miles north of London, going into Euston. Huge amount of work going on. There's been a massive regeneration project in Watford. Watford's looking really good these days. But there's the HS2 stuff's going on around Euston. There's a lot going on around Wembley and Harrow. There's so much going on. And I think that proves that economically, GB PLC is in pretty good health. So coming to a close for episode 1 now. I think part of the thing of doing the Monday Musings is a commitment for me to be more visible. A commitment to me, from me, to give better information, tips, training, insights on online business to people who follow me. And if there's something you want to know, let me know. End snippet for today, for the end of Monday Musings episode 1. One of the things that was covered in the One Funnel Away training, Russell Brunson does a great intro video. He says, in 1985, the attention span of a human being was 20 minutes. By 2005, it had dropped to 10 minutes. Now, apparently, and I can believe this, the attention span of a human being is just 7 seconds. 7 seconds, think about that. So in your marketing, your advertising, you have to interrupt, so you have your pattern interrupt, so you have to interrupt what person's saying. Imagine them scrolling through Facebook, all this information, they're trying to process it, bang, 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 bang. You have to interrupt them with your advert or whatever it is you're trying to do, and then you've got 7 seconds to pull them in. Apparently a goldfish's attention span is 8 seconds. You know what goldfish, like the old joke about the goldfish swimming around his bowl. Oh, that's a nice gateway. Oh, that's a nice gateway. Oh, that's a nice gateway. 7 seconds. So 1 second less than a goldfish. So that's something to bear in mind when you're thinking about your advertising, your marketing. The attention span nowadays is so short, and you have to grab people's attention and draw them in and get them into your marketing. That's it for episode 1. I hope you found it useful. I hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, please feel free to go to my website, derekarmson.com. If you're not on my list, sign up. There's a great free giveaway, the 10 biggest things that I got wrong when I started my online business. And I made some absolute howlers. So, hey, listen, if I can do this, you can too. But go to that. If you're on YouTube watching this, hit the subscribe button below, and I hope you will find the Monday Musings useful. I hope you will keep engaged with them, and if you have a question, please do ask me, and I look forward to seeing you next Monday with Monday Musings 2. Bye for now.